course, years later, again, we get to now more so Logan, we discovered had some needs, not, again, more meltdowns. We didn't quite know why he didn't quite cope with school, why he just spoke late, why he just, again, we noticed he was different. Like, again, and we thought down the road, oh no, he's just a boy. He's going to grow out of it. And that's what everyone said to us. He's a boy. I mean, it's funny how they always.
How old was he when you adopted him? I'm curious.
He was at 7 days old, actually.
Oh, so he was like newborn. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
little
Okay.
boy. Yeah, little boy. We're very lucky. He
Yeah.
didn't know any different.
Yeah.
And he was actually, funnily enough, 5.5 pounds, a preemie little baby.
Mhm.
But now he's like this huge boy. So you wouldn't guess. You're like, what happened to you? Yeah. And then basically what happened is, it's my son, my husband. I'll move rooms. Give me a second.
No worries.
That's okay. My husband just come upstairs.
Hey, this is life now. This is how we are today.
And you do not want to see my little girl's room right now. It's a sty. Anyway, and then years later, as he started school, realizing that he couldn't cope with friends, he was, aggressive. He was, again, little things that we didn't realize. Just couldn't. He had to be the one-on-one, the meltdowns, and again, we didn't know what it was, which led, and again, and this is still the stage where we didn't know. We just thought, a lot of people just say, well, he's just misbehaved. He's just naughty. He's just this, because there was no diagnosis yet, to be honest. And then again, I think about and again, at age 2, very sadly, was it 2 or 3? Maybe 3. He actually got politely asked to leave his preschool, one of the first ones he got asked to leave, for biting others. So it's very sad. And at the time we didn't know why he did it. We just went, oh, okay. Not quite sure. It was by an email, a nice gentle email, your child's been doing this, da 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 da. And I went, okay, I'm not expecting this. So then we kind of knew something's kind of what's going on here. What can we do? Then we found this great Montessori school for him, and he's amazing. And then it was more nature type. So they were really good with him. And again, so they would have a one-to-one with him, and it got better, but I would still have to always go on trips with them and in big groups, realizing he wasn't coping. It wasn't handling, the usual typical developing the friendships, all that and again, even then we just didn't know exactly. We thought maybe he's just still young, right? He's just a little boy.
I want to pause here because I have 2 kids now, right? So I've
Yeah.
been through the whole infant toddler having, to put them through daycare. And it's fascinating what you're pointing out, because as a parent, especially in the beginning, and especially with your first kid, you just don't know what to anticipate, number one. But number two, a lot of times you never think that it's actually that something is different with your kid. You're like, it's the environment, maybe it's the kids, maybe it's the teacher, maybe they're not catering to him the right way, right? And so what I think we're inclined to do is we just tend to literally take them and place them from place to place to place to place, because we don't know how to diagnose what's happening, right? And I think you almost never ever would think that this is maybe something that is different that's happening with your kid that you need to start to get underneath. And the other problem, I think, is also when the kid is so young, it could be so many different things. And the doctors, I know a lot of times if I would ask the doctor, they'd be like, oh, they're going to grow out of it. It's just a stage. Oh, they're going to grow out of it, right? And so you can't really get the proper help to help your child, right? Because it's so trial and error at that point in the child's development, right? Oh, they're going to grow out of it. Oh, it's just, and the things that you're describing to me, I absolutely can resonate with as a young, when I was a young mom, because I would have these questions sometimes, right? And I would be in the exact same boat. My kids didn't go through that, but I'm just saying, I know exactly where you're coming from, because so many of the first-time parents, that's exactly where we are, in the not knowing. And the doctors are just kind of like, let's just keep trying. And, you can't pinpoint. And it's nobody's fault. It's not the doctor's fault. It's no one's fault. It's just a difficult situation is what it is.
Well, and this is the thing, it is they a lot of them don't know and they don't understand. And the hardest part looking back at that is the parents again, even as you get older, and we went to like older school and moved over here, you could see your child more and more get stands out because they can't, and again, like you find out, okay, when we finally need the one-to-one, like I think reception, I think kindergarten will really think start to take a toll. And okay, we need to look at what's going on and go to early needs learning, basically, find out what's going on. Because as soon as my little guy was out of whack or not feeling good, it was like the arms would go take everything off or throw things or try and grab glasses or pinch and you name it. And again, the key thing that they did, that thank goodness reception was amazing, she would discover that as soon as he started trying to knock stuff over, she said, oh, he's done, he needs out of here. Like he had this key moment where he just could not cope anymore. And it's still to this day kind of like that. But again, it's funny, it's hard for another parents like that out there. You start becoming that, you're identified as that special needs parent. So when you go pick up your child, it's like, oh, that's that, she's someone with the little boy over there. That kind of, you see all the typical parents gathering. And a lot of parents are actually afraid. And I think some think they will actually catch, and I've heard them say this, if they're too close to my child, they'll catch his disease, like something's wrong with him. Like there's parents who actually think that. They think the behavior will catch on. And even though they think, they don't see autism as just what someone has. There's quite a lot of judgment out there, actually. I mean, looking back, I was just very worried, anxious about it. But eventually I have learned over time. I'm like, I'm now like, I don't care what you think. But for a while I was like, oh my God, why are you judging me? It was just very hard to feel that.